So everyone, this is part 5 of the video. In this video, you will learn about higher order component. So you will see the practical example of higher order component. And secondly, you will learn about CRUD and services folder. So what are the importance of CRUD folder and the services folder, and where we should keep our code and how to split it into CRUD and services. So you will see the practical example of it. And third is like centralizing your code base. So like how to centralize your code base so that in future you can change it from one place and it's going to reflect in all of them. So how do you do that? So you will see the example of it. And fourth is like maintainability. So like how do you structure code base so that you can maintain it in the future? Suppose you are using any authentication method and in future you want to change it. So how to write the code in such a way so that in future if you want to change it, it's not painful to you. You can change it from one place and it's going to reflect in all. So you'll see all of this example practically in this video. So let me directly show you that. So in the last part of the video, I have shown you about the staff, like staff pages. And here I made few changes. So you can see the UI of the staff gets changed because this is what I think is much better than the last one. Now you can see if I just refresh it, it's going to take the staff data from the database. So yeah, it's already there. So let me go to dashboard first and then go to staff. So yeah, so you can see all of this data is getting from the database. So now let me show you the backend code and whatever we have talked about, that HOC and like authentication, getting user data, owner ID from centralized. So all of this will be given you as an example. So this is my code. So first of all, let me show you this page, that is staff layout. So we have onboarded. So inside of the onboarded, because whatever data is after the onboarding is done, so this is inside onboarded. And if you go to staff, so here we have staff, and here we go to page.jsx. Now this is the same page. This is page.jsx of staff, and here we are getting the staff data. So how am I getting it? So it's here, get staffs. Okay, so I'm using server side code, which is of the Next.js. And here, if you go to get staffs here, so first of all, let me tell you, this is our service. This is our business logic. It's not our something which is going to talk to the database. Rather, it's our business logic. So it must stay into service folder, service file. So if I just get stuff, so you can see it's inside of the services, staff.service.js. Okay, so this is where you have to like keep on centralizing your like full code base. And here get staff, and here we are getting is get staff list. Now this is something which is going to talk to the database, so it must stay in the CRUD file. So let me show you, get staff list. So you can see I have created CRUD folder, and inside is staff.crud.js. So whatever code written here is going to talk to the database only. There will be no business logic. Okay, so this is where you have to like separate your coding. And here now you can see that I'm getting clinic ID. So from where I'm getting clinic ID, so this will give you the concept of like higher order component. So if you just come back to like this page here, and you can see clinic ID from here I'm getting. So this is page.jsx, and I have wrapped this whole page in the higher order component, like authenticated HOC. This I have created higher order component. Now the reason behind this is that like there are lots of, you can see, routes, appointment, dashboard, navbar, sidebar, and many of them would require the clinic ID. So why to like repeat in each of the pages? Rather create a higher order component and give the details to that each pages. So let me show you how it works. So if I go to authenticated higher order component, so you can see I created a dedicated folder as higher order component. So in future, if I create any higher order component, that's going to be into this. Now authenticated HOC, and you can see here I'm getting the full data, whatever is metadata, for example, which is related to authentication, user ID, owner ID, clinic ID. So whatever it is going to be come from here. So you can see I've centralized this. So whatever metadata is going to come, so it's become the mental map inside me, that if I get to like something metadata related, it's I have to land on this file only. So in future, if I have to change something related to metadata, I will just land to this file, change here, and this way it's going to reflect in all of my pages. So this is where you have to like centralize everything. You don't have to write everything in all pages. Rather just create a central place, and from pause of them, in that way you can change from one place in the future. Okay, so you can say I'm getting get authenticate context, and here I'm like destructuring user and client. And let me show you this as well. So get authenticated context. So that was authenticated HOC, and here it services like authenticated HOC.service.js, and here whatever the metadata kind of thing is going to be coming from here. So you can see I'm using auth, so I'm basically using better auth. So suppose in future if I change from better auth to something, so I will just come here, or I'll just come here and go to lib file and just change from there. And this way, my whole project will now use my updated authentication method. So this is the way from changing one place, I can like change in all places. So this becomes very maintainable in the future. So let me get back to that. So from here, let me get back to that. Yeah. So from here, I'm like destructuring user ID, clinic ID, and passing into the page components user ID, clinic ID. So from here, I can accept the clinic ID. I can like destructure the clinic ID or even user ID from here, because it's already getting using this hierarchy component. So this way it goes here, and now, and yeah, so this is the way whole thing is happening. So you have understood the importance of, and you've seen the example of IoT component and how like getting metadata thing and how to centralize it. So this is the way how it's working. Now the next thing is when we click on invite, then what happens, and how I'm using flat array method. You will see the practical example of flat array method, how it happens, how it's become useful in giving roles and permissions. So this is what you're going to learn in the next part of the video. So stay tuned for the video, or if you're watching me somewhere, so either subscribe, follow, or whatever you want to do. So let's meet you in the next part of the video.